I've got the same issue regarding the Craftsman pressure washer, model, Kumsquaz 020734 Briggs & Stratton engine, 124P020009F1. Here is a link to the engine parts list, https://www.briggsandstratton.com/na/support/results.multistepmanualsearch.html. Search requested equals 124P020009F1. Problem: unit will not start. Use the unit only once. During storage, there had to be residual gas in the tank. I recall draining it, but I did not run the unit to burn all that's left in the carb. 1. I removed the spark plug and sprayed some starter fluid. The unit would start/run for 2 seconds. 2. I noticed some oil within the air filter. Double-checked the oil level, it was correct. I used the starting fluid to rinse out the oil within the air filter. I then used starting fluid right into the carb entry behind the air filter. Unit started, but again, for just a few seconds. I then soaked the air filter with starter fluid, then squeezed out most of it, and tried again. This time it did start and ran for 10 seconds due to the fuel vapors coming from the air filter, I presume. I've replaced the spark plug when it would run for a few seconds. I also tried having the fuel cap off. I need guidance from here. I'm a newbie on engine troubleshooting. I figure it's a carb problem, but since I can get it to start on starter fluid, I'm unsure if this is a fuel delivery issue. Any case, if you could look over the engine breakdown document from the link I provided, and maybe point out something to check on. I don't see any fuel filter anywhere. Thanks, Matthew.
Hello, my name is. I am going to assist you with this. As gas gets old, it turns to varnish and clogs up the passageways inside the carburetor, not allowing enough gas to get to the engine. Today's gasoline formulation goes bad in as little as 30 days. This condition is cumulative. Every time gas sits, the varnish builds up just a little more, like coats of paint, until eventually gas cannot flow. It will not happen overnight, but the symptoms can show up all of a sudden, even while simply stopping to refill with gas. The use of fuel additives, such as Stable or Seafoam, will not stop this process from happening. They will greatly slow it down, but the gas will still go bad. This can also happen even on a brand new engine or brand new carb. When the carb is built, it is run at the factory to tune it. After tuning, they do not always get properly cleaned, or may not have enough/any preservative injected. Believe it or not, this is actually fairly common. When this happens, either the engine simply will not start, or it will not run without the choke on. This reduces the amount of air getting pulled into the engine, changing the fuel/air mixture, or it will run but surges. Another issue that varnish in the carb can cause is that the varnish may not allow the float needle to seal properly against the seat, causing the flow of gas to not shut off when the bowl is full. The result will be gas overflowing the carb and running into the cylinder, and possibly out the air intake. If the gas gets into the cylinder, it will seep past the rings and down into the crankcase. This will be evidenced by your oil level being overfull and/or the oil smelling like gas. If this is the case, you will need to change the oil and filter, if it has a filter. Varnish can also cause the float needle to stick shut, and not allow any gas to flow from the carb bowl into the engine. The only two solutions are to either replace the carburetor or give it a good, thorough cleaning. When removing the carb, make sure to take a good picture, or make a good drawing of where all springs and linkages are attached. This will make reassembly much easier. Most people believe that cleaning a carb involves removing the bowl and wiping it out, then spraying some carb cleaner through it. This is simply insufficient. It takes months or years for this accumulation to build up, it just cannot be removed in minutes. To properly clean the carb, you must remove it, disassemble it, making sure to remove all non-metal parts, and soak it in a commercial solvent for several hours. Soaking it overnight is even better. Then clean all solvent off with a spray-type carb cleaner, making sure to get lots of cleaner into every hole and passage there is. Pay special attention to the tiny holes in the bore of the carb, under the throttle plate for the carbs that have these holes. Use lots of cleaner. And make sure to wear safety goggles to avoid getting the overspray into your eyes. There will be overspray. Dry the carb with low pressure compressed air. When reassembling the carb, make sure to use a carb kit, when one is available for your carb. Occasionally, even a good cleaning is not going to be sufficient, and you may end up having to replace the carb anyhow. Be prepared for this.
Okay, Hank, I think I might bite the bullet and buy a OEM carb. It goes for $50. A rebuild kit costs half of that, so I figured I might as well throw an additional $25 for a new carb to reduce labor time. But I think before I pull the trigger on that, I'll remove the carb and do an inspection at least. Thanks, Hank. I'll keep you updated on the progress. Take care, Matthew.
Okay. Thank you for using Just Answer, and please take a moment to rate my assistance.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.